On June 4th, 2015 at approximately 10 p.m., while I was sitting submissively on the curb of a sidewalk located approximately 1 block from 578 North Orange Avenue, Orlando, Florida, I was unlawfully battered and tasered by 2 off-duty Orlando police officers who were moonlighting as security for private nightclub named Venue 578. The names of those 2 officers are David Cruz and Officer Charles Mays.
A security officer reported to Orlando Police Department officers there was an altercation between a male and a female on Orange Avenue. The female victim was trying to get away from the male, who was later identified as Noel Carter. Additionally, we have a witness statement that indicates the 2 were arguing inside a nearby club.
The actions captured on the bystanders' video are accurate representations of the abuses inflicted on me by Officer Cruz and Officer Mays while I was seated with my hands raised on the curb, including the abrasions and cuts on my wrists from purposefully tightened handcuffs and trauma I sustained to my head and the right side of my body due to repeated battering. Further, in addition to brutalizing me, Officer Cruz and Officer Mays arrested me, so I'm awaiting a decision from State Attorney Jeff Ashton as to whether I'll face further prosecution.
Based on witnesses and officer reports, it is clear that Carter was intoxicated, resisting officers, uncooperative, and attempted to flee multiple times. Because of witnesses and additional videos, we have information beyond the police reports of what happened at the beginning of the encounter and at the end. Like I said, we're looking at the entire investigation from the beginning to conclusion. What you see in those seconds of that video is only a small piece of what happened.
I agree with Chief Mina that the totality of the circumstances may matter for the charges, but they do not matter for the incident of brutality, and that's what we are asking that the state attorney investigate, the brutality inflicted upon our client by those 2 officers.
We absolutely have an obligation to intervene in any type of altercation, especially something that might be domestic violence or dating violence. So to say that we should not get involved in that situation it is not a good statement. We need to get involved. That's why the police are out there. We have to get involved in those situations to intervene domestic violence or dating violence.
And I was essentially battered prior to any conveyance of what my disorderly conduct could have been. The situation was escalated not by myself. It was escalated by the officers who involved themselves in a situation between myself and the woman I was talking with.
Yeah.
As chief, I am committed to transparency within the police department, which is why I've made it a practice to send certain cases to a third party, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, to ensure a thorough review and investigation.
Orlando sitting on newspaper, check it out, yeah, do us the favor, promise that you will love it later, I promise, we got Central Florida.